Hi everyone, my name is Christa Barfett and I'm running for a seat in the Town of Claremville's upcoming municipal election. The Chamber of Commerce was supposed to have a debate tonight, but due to coronavirus restrictions, the format of that had to be altered. So we were given a couple of questions to, offer our thoughts and opinions on, and to submit it like video format. I actually did like 37 takes yesterday trying to do this, but it's really weird talking to yourself on camera when you can't actually engage people when you're talking. I like to, I feel like I get a better understanding on how people feel by like face-to-face interaction, but sadly that can't happen. So my daughter Jordan is sitting like right here.
Hi.
She said hi. And I'm just going to pretend I'm talking to her because I just can't do this sitting in a room by myself. So, just an overview of me. I'm 34 years old. I've lived in Claremville since 2006. And I've been a homeowner here in Claremville since 2008. Let's see. I'm a private care provider by trade. That's how I earn a living. So I'm self-employed. I'm married to Dennis Barfett. He works at the Claremville Area Consumers Co-op. So a locally owned company keeps a roof over my head. Alrighty, so we have two kids, Nick and Jordan. Nick is 17 and Jordan is 11. And what else, Jordan? Oh, we have a dog, 2 cats, and 6 chickens. Mm-hmm. And I read a lot, and we grow a lot of our own vegetables and stuff. And yeah, so that's a little bit about me. The next section that they questioned that the Chamber of Commerce had was essentially priorities for the town. All right, so I'm just looking at like right now what I would look at as being the priorities for the town at this moment. Recovery from COVID. A lot of businesses have suffered due to coronavirus restrictions. There's obviously nothing we could have done about that. And those restrictions, but I feel like a priority for council right now would be to offer its assistance how it can to help support the small businesses within the community. I think we need to focus on have a renewed focus on recreation, because again, all right, I'm sorry, I'm just thinking as I go here because I'm just going by notes. I feel that we need to get people out into community a little bit more. We have some programs in place right now, like Stacy Shepherd is doing the Healthy Active Living program. That's fantastic. I really love that program. I'd like to see that expanded. We just need to, it's essentially for mental health, people's physical health. We just need to bring people together as safely as possible due to coronavirus restrictions. But we need to really amplify that recreation program or different activities for kids. Because when you get people out into the community doing these things, there is a economic runoff, so to say, from these activities. Like, I'm just going to use an example. Council announced that yesterday when they had their regular meeting that we're going to be having our pumpkin walk again this year. All right, that's in partnership with the town and the scouts and stuff like that. That's fantastic. We look forward to that every year. So there is economic runoff, because when you go to the pumpkin walk, this is what I do. I take the opportunity, I do a few more things around town with the kids. We might pop into a store that we normally wouldn't get a chance to visit during the week, or we'd go out and get a late breakfast or a lunch or something. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And one area that I experienced this for myself, I think there needs to be better communication with residents. I feel there's a big gap between what happens at Town Hall and what the residents are aware of. Like, we had a water conservation ban on this summer, and a lot of people weren't actually aware that that was actually on. So I just think that council needs to work a bit better at communicating with the residents in the community. All right, so that was just, like I said, an overview and priorities, so I will move on. They gave me 4 questions after obviously the overview and the priorities. But I'm not going to actually do them in order because two of the questions that's actually there, I think that the answers would tie together a little bit. So I'm going to keep those together. So I'm going to start with question number 3 first, which is poll tax. What do I think of the poll tax? I hate the poll tax. I paid the poll tax for 2 years here in Farmville when I was renting. We moved here in 2006, and I paid it, 2007 and 2008 until we purchased our home. Our rent at the time was $350 a month. I got a bargain. A friend down the street was paying $425 a month. I was only making $6.75 an hour when I moved into Farmville. My husband was only making $7.35 an hour, and we were raising a kid on that. So every year, being just renters in an apartment, we had to pay this poll tax, $325, and that was 2 months' rent. So that's a lot of money for someone that was only making $6.75 an hour. And yeah, I know minimum wage is $12.50, but the cost of rent has also gone up. I mean, you want a decent place now, it's between a 2-bedroom basement apartment is $600. So essentially, yeah, wages may have doubled since then, but so has the cost of living. So I think we should get rid of the poll tax, and I think that should be done over a 4-year plan. I think that, all right, so essentially the poll tax only garners $225,000 of our municipal town budget. So it's like 2.1% of our budget. So our budget's like $10.5 million each year. So in the first year, decrease the cost by 25%. So essentially, that $225,000, we gather $56,250 less. So from year to year, we'd have to make up $56,250. The next year afterwards, of course, we'd have to make up $112,500 until the 4 years was up when it'd be phased out. I think it's a poor people tax. It essentially, it's taking money out of the pockets of the workers in our community who need it the most. And it's grocery store workers, it's fast food restaurant workers, it's waitresses, it's the person that passes you your coffee from Tim Hortons in the morning. They're renting a basement apartment and you're taking $325 a year away from them, when I'm sure if you look hard enough, you can come up with additional revenue to replace that. The money itself will go back into the community, because the people who would be saving the $325, they're not going to like poke that away and not use it. They're going to go buy food, or, make an extra payment on their light bill, or they're going to put an extra $20 worth of gas in their car that week, and they'll actually be able to maybe take their kids out for a drive or something. This tax, essentially, like I said, it's a poor people tax, and I don't think it's necessary. I would suggest this if I was elected to council. I don't know if any of the other candidates would agree, but I'm just throwing it out there that I think it's doable if you actually look hard enough. All right, next point, ways to keep costs low. Ways to keep costs low in the town, I guess. Careful budgeting. Set your priorities for your spending. Investigate ways to save. I was actually speaking with another candidate, and one of the things that an idea that we were actually knocking back and forth with each other, was an idea of a community composting program. And everyone's like, well, composting, how's that going to save the town money? Well, we actually pay per ton for the garbage that leaves our town. So the more we can actually get out of the garbage can, and the less bags going out to the transfer station, the less money it's going to cost the town. So I'd like to see, it's been done in other areas of the province. So the council could discuss with the other towns, see what worked for them, and we could tailor this to work within our community. So that's just one minuscule idea that we were just beating around, I don't know. All right. should the town do more to attract business? This is the point I was making where I said like the two questions were I said I kind of wanted to answer together. So could the town do more to attract businesses? And some candidates were talking about like an economic marketing position. Like I guess creating like a position, hiring an individual to do this job. All right. Should the town do more to attract business? Yes, it is it's just smart economics on behalf of the town to do this because if the town attracts businesses, it attracts customers because Clareville is a shopping town. If we do the economic runoff would be in our favor because if the businesses do better, we get more tax revenue. So yes, the town should be doing all that it can to support the small businesses in the community. Do we need an actual position of an economic marketing officer? I don't think we need to put money out necessarily into that, but I do believe that if we got like a big roundtable approach with this and we brought in essentially representatives from all organizations, the Chamber of Commerce, there's all the White Hills people. What else? Hold on, I got a list here. Snowmobile Association. Just business leaders. Bring everybody to the table together, and this is going to have to be essentially a collaborative effort. Like we're the hub, so essentially people come in from all different regions. I grew up in Trouty. That's like down Trinity Bight. We made our weekly trip into Clareville. We'd buy our groceries, we'd stop and get something to eat, and we'd, just make a little bit of a day out of it, and we'd go home again. And people are still doing this. So bear with me. So like I said, if all interested parties actually came together and worked on this together, social media approach. All right, I'm sorry, Chamber of Commerce, but I'm going to make fun of your Facebook page right now. A couple days ago when I got the questions, I got on Facebook and I looked up essentially the Chamber of Commerce to find your Facebook page. And I had to I found it, Clareville Chamber, and I had to add as a friend. And that just struck me as a little funny because most, I guess, businesses or community groups would use the platform a little bit differently and would have it as a page type view where you could just like the page versus having to directly friend someone. So I think if we looked at social media, bring everybody together because there's like the Snowmobile Association wants to do like a Clareville to Bonavista type thing. That's great. That would bring in a lot of business into the region. So let's bring those guys to the table. We got White Hills up there. They're concerned about a new council, I guess, for like funding and stuff like. Let's bring them to the table. That's a great asset to have in our backyard. The Chamber of Commerce. We have hotels, restaurants. What else? Just everything is here. We need to bring representatives from everybody together to talk about this. And if you get people talking about it and working together, we need to reach out to other municipalities that are our neighbors and say, hey guys, can we do something together here where we can, generate some buzz for our region? So that's just some rough ideas that I was thinking out. Obviously, this is just my own opinion and on what I think. I guess you'd have to elect me, and I'd have to, if get elected, I'd have to sit and talk with other council members to see their thoughts and views on these things. But like I said, this is just some rough notes I had. But I really hate the poll tax. I was so excited to see that question there because I used to, there's nothing worse than getting that bill in the mail, and it's like, darn. So, so that's my answers. If anybody has any questions, you can, I guess, send me a Facebook message. I have a Facebook page, Vote Christa Barfett, Clareville Town Council 2021. So you can just look me up there and send me an inbox if you have any questions. I guess that's it. Thanks.